Hello, I'm your host, Kayla, and this is Spectra Storytime. Within the world of Spectra lies a land of lost souls seeking solace in whichever places they can find it. Today's story is called Underwater Garden. Like all the tall tales on this channel, this story is from my unpublished short story collection, Spectra. So, shall we begin? Underwater Garden. I never asked you if you saw me first. Every day I asked you questions about your pretty wife and her 3 cats, your grizzled beard and when you would cut it, how to cry and why you'd ever need to. I asked and you always answered, but not on the first day. On the first, we did not speak with so many words. Our bodies understood what our minds could not, and it was so peaceful, quiet, but only on the inside. On the outside, it was all happening. The gossip of cattails as I rustled in the breeze, the hordes of bees racing past them, the scent of daffodils snagged against the musky notes of algae. The toad with a fly caught in its throat, your gasp of surprise when I pinched your ass, then my laugh after you asked for more. When we finally found our stuttering rhythm, I listened to the birds scold the wind. Much too cold for this time of year. Don't you have any patience? Only then could I feel it, nipping at my neck as I slobbered over yours, too lost to care about my clumsy lips, too keen to make a mess of you. Did you undress by the water's edge so that I would approach you? Or were you just as surprised as me when I put your hand in mine? You shivered in my arms afterwards, and I stroked the coarse hair along your navel. Do you remember? Do you want to? I want to show you my underwater garden, where I grow milfoil and ditch moss and scales for the fish born naked. There I would make a picnic even your wife would envy. We'd feast on boiled lily pads and watermeal biscuits, then purple loosestrife petals for dessert. I do not drink tea, but I would offer you sweet sap from the weeping willows nearby. You'd soon grow drowsy from a full stomach, and I would lead you to my bed of tangled moss and stolen flowers. There I would nurse your dreams and swallow your nightmares, kiss your eyelids still. But of course, you must be wondering what sort of house I live in. I'm sure you've heard your fair share of stories, though I doubt any are accurate. My roof is a masterpiece of snail shells alternating between the color of quail's eggs and a goose's beak. The walls boast an oily glisten as they are wrapped in eelskin, and when the sun combs her hands through the water, my walls catch her reflection like distorted glass, reminiscent of dragonfly wings, only darker. The bones of the house are just that, bones, salvaged from the dead fish and the skeletons of the drowned. All of this I would show you if I could. It is not enough to have you inside of me. There is still so much more I would have you take. You who live on borrowed breath and raised meat, who would die before we could ever reach my lake's squelching floor. I complain about this to my brothers, who jest in scorn at our lovemaking. I am meant to be finding a wife, they remind me. But I have no need for one. I have you, don't I? We've just finished swimming and are content to let the sun lick us dry. After a while, it grows tired and goes to rest behind the clouds. We watch the sky turn to rot without it, the color of goblin's breath, lemon-wise and seedy. The air smells of rain. Anxiously, you gather your shoes and belt and things before the storm can catch up to you, and as the tree line swallows your shadow, I realize I am not finished with you yet. It is then that I decide to follow. Your farm is smaller than you described. There are no red-faced chickens or coarse-haired sheep. You have only the one barn, not 2, and it is not even painted. The wood is sun-bleached to an ashen pale, rotting in some places, missing in others. At least your cows look moderately content. Their dumb brown eyes blink slowly when they see me approach, but do not alert you of my arrival. I keep low amongst the towering stalks of wheat that surround your homestead, for I am curious and wonder how you will shed your skin when you are alone. When the rain tumbles down and you seek shelter indoors, I creep beneath your kitchen window to watch you. By your round wooden table, you take a long, reverent gulp of the fizzy brown drink that you brought me last week. It tasted bitter and made my head so light I feared it'd blow right off my head. When I told you as much, you laughed and finished what I could not. As you continue to drink, you are less yourself, sewn up and stiffer somehow. New lines appear on your brow, your skin the color of night water, dull in the candlelight. I wonder if it is my absence that brings on this change, if you resent who you are without me. Then I realize you are not alone. Behind you, your wife emerges from some hidden passage. She plants a dry kiss at the top of your head, but does not smile. Her hair, like loose strands of fraying rope, is dark like yours, only not as pretty. Though she is not thin, there is a hungry look to her. How long has she gone to bed without supper? Will she die of starvation before the first frost, or will you feed her on this summer's night? When I see you next, I do not speak of what I have seen. I bury my hurt inside of you. My teeth leave marks where I know she will see them, and I lick any traces she may have left right out your mouth. My fingers bloom a wreath of purple saris around your neck and wrists. You've never seen me so greedy, though I suspect a part of you knows why. Afterwards, when you peel my fingers, one by one, from your cheeks, I fear I've taken too much of you. When I ask you if I will see you tomorrow, you lay a dry kiss on my head and say, yes. And I have my answer. After the leaves remember their dying and all is autumn husk, you stop coming to see me. I feel myself unravel along with the weather as the last of summer's light cowers below the horizon. I too run and hide. My lake is my grave, and only my brothers bring me flowers. I can't stand their simpering countenance, their subtle cruelty when they offer their wives to me as solace. Soon they grow angry at my isolation. When will I stop this sulking and join them in expanding our family? They pinch and prod and pull until I am treading on hooved feet, a frantic gallop through the water, then aimlessly inside the skeletal wood. A few hours pass, and then I am outside your farm. In the water, I told myself I was too furious to seek you out, but here on dry land, I play by other rules. I know this when I see you. My wrath abandons me. I am a lurching stomach. I am the hangnail moon above me, half-lifed and gutted. I watch you from afar, but do not approach. You are not alone. You are never alone. And even after the days, then weeks that pass. I wake up early to watch you help your wife milk the cows. Even as the cold condenses your breath to mist, you build up quite a sweat. Sometimes she uses her scarf to dab it off your forehead, usually followed by a placid smile. Both of you take turns offering to the other. Later in the day, it is you and the stable hand thrashing the wheat, dodging in and out the sideboard until your wife calls you in for supper. No one visits you save one woman I hope is a stranger. You are turning in for the night when a short, stubby woman with a voice like a battle axe slams on your door until you answer. Though I cannot make out her words, I can tell she is hysterical. You exchange a handful of words, broken up by a few scowls when at last you shut the door in her face. Like a wild dog, she growls and scratches at your door before stomping back from whence she came. Did you stop coming to see her too? The day your wife walks towards the direction of town, you and the stable hand disappear into the barn well past the morning. As I contemplate the cows as they chew their cud, a lone magpie squawks past me as if to wake me from my trance, remind me why I have come. Longing has outweighed my fear, and I am marching towards one of the barn's mud-speckled windows. Hastily, I scrape it away with my nails, as if I mean to break through the glass, and perhaps I am. I must see you, be near you. The stable hand has a face made for forgetting. And yet I know it is one I will take with me to bed tonight, and every night after, because he is inside of you. Now he is inside of me too. He is out in the fields far away from you and towards the forest when I approach him. He opens his mouth to call out to you, then thinks better of it, does not want to startle me. Instead, he waves his arms at you until he has captured your attention. You do not think to warn him, as you've not seen me in this form and do not recognize me. His face is overtaken by a cocky grin. How eager he is to show off to you. If my face could contort, it would mirror his. Instead, I give a gentle whinny, then kneel before him as if I am not a wild thing. Hypnotized by my beauty, he accepts my silent invitation, swings himself onto my back. When I take off running, the boy is screaming, though he knows it will do him no good. The woods become a dark fortress you are now scared to enter. Yet you follow the trail I have left for you, like you are not afraid to die, or do you think you are the next to go anyway? When you finally catch up to me, I am waiting for you by the water's edge in my human form. I am alone. Only a moment ago, your feet were so sure. Now they know better and slam to a halt. But my single silhouette is not a question you are prepared to ask, and your body forgets you, a scramble of limbs on my sandy shores. When you are on your feet again, you, that stiff stranger, again, only 10 paces away, and you are still punishing me with your absence. Still, it is nice to see you, to have you hold me in your gaze, no matter how scathing the embrace. Under your scrutiny, I come awake, something to be seen, colored new. Tell me what I need to be, and I'll be just that, if only to be something you can say. Make me into words, an extension of yourself. Let me be a love that grew too big for your blood, real enough to touch with your hands. I want to show you my underwater garden. When I tell you this, a sigh that could sink you. Why? I do not tell you about the boiled lily pads or bed of tangled moss and stolen flowers. I understand what you are asking. You know why. You cast a ravenous look past my shoulders towards the water. Give him back. I can't do that. You notice I don't say won't. I see you mourn for the boy who is not me. The first I see you cry. How strange to rain on oneself, where all is barren and there will be no bloom. I do not like it. Only half drenched, but not fully. Let me complete you under the water. Let me show you how to be whole. You understand what this means. Your hand fingers the ivory hilt of the hunting knife that rests along your hip. It wasn't so long ago that you taught me how to use it on fish, where to split the skin at its most tender. I'll be waiting for you. I am always waiting. You do not call me by my name, you call me Kelpie. Then your hand drops back down to your side where it will stay. You will not gut me tonight. That will come later. It didn't have to end this way, you tell me. I do not answer, and you do not make me. We both know it is a lie. Then you are gone, and I am alone again. They come stomping, growling, gnashing through the night, and it bursts open to meet them, the darkness pooling at their feet. The light from their torches rushes up and over their glunching faces, floating heads, an army of ghouls haunting our shores as if the fight is already over. We meet you in the water and we are smiling. So many pretty trinkets, swords and shields to show the children when they are born. So many pretty bones made for building. I want to show you my underwater garden. We have no need for iron or bronze toys, only our hands and teeth. My brothers have taught me how to rip out a man's throat without biting my tongue, though I've never needed to. Not until tonight, until you, who is the first to find me. You have no torch in hand, for you are clever, and you know you will need both hands to kill me. Even if my eyes aren't made for shadow, I'd know you from the way you rush into the water. The other men are sloppy, stumbling colts crashing in surging waves, but you approach me with purpose and do not attempt to scare me with the foolish battle cries your men seem to favor. There is simply your sword in one hand, dagger in the other, and the moon's silver teeth carving ribbons of light on your blades. Then we are falling. The water swallows us up greedy as I am to have you so close to me once again. I want to show you my underwater garden. Our movements are slower than they would be in the air, requiring more force to touch, to hurt. You pour all of yourself into each lunge and jab, but I bat each attack away, emoting bubbles in the place of a laugh. The sounds of monsters and men carving each other up is muted beneath the water, as if they've trapped their dying song into clotted cream. We are in our own warped world, you and I. Aren't you pleased? You who taught me love is fueled by loneliness. Never have I been so conscious of the quiet than when I was alone after you left me. Now, there will be no after. When you stab me, I stab back. That was Underwater Garden. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to hear more stories from the world of Spectra, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.